All right, part 2, hypocrisy at Liberty University. Several years ago, I believe he was the dean of students. He was one of their top professors. He was definitely one of my favorite speakers there, teachers. But I know that many of y'all have heard the name Ergen Kaner. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced several different ways. But whatever it is, y'all, anybody who follows Liberty University or follows Christian controversy in the news knows who Ergen Kaner is. And he was fired for his exaggerations about his Muslim influence. Supposedly, his family came from a Muslim background. I do believe that part was true. But he was very outspoken against the Muslim religion, which is not a religion. It's a terrorist movement. But he was outspoken against it, and he revealed a lot of truths about it, which I don't doubt the stuff he revealed about the Muslims were true. However, he lied about the impact it had on him as a child, or how involved he was with it in his younger days before he came to Christ. Something along those lines he lied about. And so they fired him. They removed him, and there was this big, embarrassing scandal surrounding that. And if that were the case, he should have been fired. He misled his students. He misled the college. He misled his constituents. He lied. And he claimed to be a Christian. He claimed to be above that and have more integrity. So there should have been consequences for that. However, those same restrictions and guidelines do not apply in other areas of Liberty University. There are things that, when you sign the contract to go into Liberty, you sign the covenant agreement, there are things that you have to agree to. And I know for a fact, because of classes I was in, that there are students and professors who are not living according to those guidelines, but yet they're allowed to stay on. They're not fired and publicly humiliated as Ergen Kaner was, in which I don't believe they should be publicly humiliated, but they should either be expelled from the school and the professors fired. Number one, just from the discussion boards I was in, and people discussing their personal lives, and a lot of times we bring our personal lives into our views and philosophies on discussion boards, but also we always had to do an introductory discussion board telling people who we are, a little bit about ourselves. And since we're going to be communicating online and we weren't meeting in person, this was a way to kind of, build a camaraderie. And there were people in the discussion boards talking about living with their boyfriends or girlfriends, shacking up, as my husband likes to call it, which is against biblical doctrine. They were disclosing all types of immoral lifestyles. There were even a couple who admitted to being homosexual. There were many more who admitted to not having a problem with homosexuality. Even some professors that admitted to not having a problem with homosexuality. This goes against biblical doctrine. If you're going to be teaching in a biblical college, then a Christian college, then you should adhere to Christian guidelines. And if you have to sign a covenant statement and saying that you agree with the morality and the principles of the Bible, then you should have to live them. There were people who were working in bars. Again, alcoholism is big among fundamentalists, which the college is obviously not so fundamental anymore. But, this is hypocrisy at its finest, because Ergen Kaner gets fired for his. Not only that, back when it was Liberty College under the senior Jerry Falwell, Kevin Max, one of the three singers for DC Talk, he was expelled from Liberty University. All three guys, Kevin Max, Toby Mac, Michael Tate, I believe they all went to Liberty University. Now that's where they met and formed their group DC Talk. But Kevin Max was expelled from the college because of partying and getting drunk, because of his alcoholic lifestyle. Now, that was the precedent set then. Why is it now that people could do a whole lot worse, students could do a whole lot worse, not only get away with it, but brag about it in the discussion boards, and nothing is done? Also, there were teachers who lied about reviewing and grading papers. I ran into this. My daughter ran into this. If they made a mistake and grade you on a test, you would find an answer that was marked wrong when it was actually right. Or when, oh Lord have mercy, writing in APA format or MLA, whatever we were told to write in, which APA is a nightmare, but that's for another story. But anyway, whatever format we were told to write papers in, the teacher would grade it and mark something off that they had previously told us to do. And when confronted on that, I actually had 2 professors that I know of. They tried to explain to me why when they read my paper, they marked that wrong, or why they marked a certain answer wrong on a test. And keep in mind, this is on 2 different occasions. Then after going back and forth, because I won't let it go, because I've got the proof right there in front of me that it's right, or I've got the instructions in the syllabus, or, the instruction, the assignment instructions, and I say, this is what you said, this is what I did. Then they come back and admit, well, I'm not actually the one who graded the paper. My assistant looked over that. I will make that correction. Okay, so either they lied the first time in saying that they're the ones who graded the paper, or they're lying now trying to make their assistant the scapegoat by saying the assistant's the one that actually graded the paper. Lies are lies. If Ergen Kaner's going to get fired for lies, why are these professors not? So, and I'm not the only one who's had those problems. You can read the Facebook discussion boards and find out that there are other students having the same problems. Another reason that Liberty University is not the Christian college it claims to be, excuse me, is the non-Christians speaking at their commencement services or their special events. People that blatantly contradict biblical values. First one that comes to mind, and I was just shocked when I found out he was speaking there, was Glenn Beck. Now, as far as politics, I love Glenn Beck. Well, I used to love Glenn Beck. I'm kind of on the fence with him right now because it seems like he's kind of going crazy, but that's for another video too. But as far as speaking at a Christian college, Glenn Beck is a Mormon. Mormons are cults. They blatantly deny aspects of the Bible, even though they say they use the Bible, even though they say that they're Christians. They follow, their founder was a Satanist, for heaven's sake. Joseph Smith, and then, of course, Brigham Young tried to kind of paint a different picture of the Mormon church when he came on board as the leader. There again, another video, so I don't want to chase that rabbit too much. But Mormon beliefs are contrary to Christian beliefs. I don't care if they say they're Christian or not. And for a Christian college to have Glenn Beck come in and speak and represent them, I think they even gave him an honorary master's or doctorate, an honorary doctorate or something. That kind of raises some questions with me as to how boldly they stand on biblical principles. Also, Donald Trump. I know if anybody's watching this, I'm going to get some people ticked off about this one. I don't care if you want to vote for Donald Trump or not. I mean, personally, I can't stand the man. And I know there's this big debate, which I can't stand Hillary even more, but I know there's this big debate over whether you should vote for a lesser of 2 evils or not. That's not what this video is about. This video is about whether Liberty University should have someone come in and speak that is as blatantly immoral as Donald Trump. He has promoted and funded the greatest of immoralities. And we could argue about his politics too, but that's not the point for this video either. He is coming in speaking at a Christian college, and if they're saying they want to offer political views for all sides, well, that's a violation of their church state nonprofit status as well. They shouldn't have anybody political coming in and speaking. If it is if it's a law college or something, yeah, bring in some great lawyers or great politicians. But this is a Christian college, so they should have blatantly Christian speakers come in. Another one is Mitt Romney. Again, another Mormon. Whether you agree that Mitt Romney would be a better president than a Democrat, if you strictly adhere to Republicanism, that's your business. That's fine. And if you're a Christian and you think it's okay to vote for Mitt Romney, knock yourself out and vote for him. But a Christian college should not have Mitt Romney as a speaker. Another one, and I don't know whether to laugh or cry on this one, Bernie Sanders. Are you kidding me? Bernie Sanders. He is a self-admitted communist. And more than Donald Trump, blatantly supports and promotes immoral lifestyles. They had Bernie Sanders recently come in and speak. And yes, there was a big uproar in the college, and they make all kinds of excuses for why they did it. The point is they say they are a Christian college and that they are training champions for Christ. Bernie Sanders is not going to help train anybody for Christ. And I read, and I don't know, I need to research and find out. I read an article that said that under the elder Falwell, that when it was still Liberty Christian College, that Ted Kennedy came in and spoke one time. Now, I don't know if that's the case. Supposedly Ted Kennedy and Jerry Falwell were friends, even though they had disagreeing, opposing viewpoints as far as life and faith. But if that were the case, if Ted Kennedy came in and spoke, then the elder Falwell, in all of his boldness, set the precedence for compromise there. So, he'll have to answer for that. Here's what I say to Liberty University. Why not go all out and have a jihad terrorist, a famous jihad terrorist, come in and speak? Maybe a Satanist. Maybe some murderous politicians. I'm sure Hillary Clinton or Obama would jump at the opportunity to speak at Liberty University. Maybe Liberty University should change their slogan to training Christians to conform to culture, or training a generation of faux Christians. Or if you really just wanted to get ridiculous and to show how ridiculous them saying they're a Christian college is, they could change it to a Christian education in America at its finest, fabricating Christianity by example. Because that's exactly what they're doing, fabricating Christianity. So would I recommend Liberty University? If you need a good online school where you're going to, or even an on-campus school where you're going to get a respected degree, a degree that's respected by mainstream America, yeah, go ahead. I mean, they're just as good as anyone else. But